Hello and welcome back to the Doctor's Garage here on YouTube. So in this video today, I'm going to be fitting a part to my Defender that I've wanted to for quite a while. It's an upgrade to the front end of my Defender and it involves the lighting. If you watch the channel regularly or follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I've upgraded my bumper on my Defender to a new ORE bumper with the new daytime running lights. And I've still got my old headlight unit in my Defender, and that's something that my Defender 90 came with. They're the same lights that I've had since the beginning when I owned this car, and they are halo LED headlights. So on running lights they run as a halo, and then when they're on full beam obviously the halo goes off and you just get the main LED headlight. Now they're pretty good headlights. I don't know what brand they are or where they're from, but for me they don't fit the ORE bumper lights. Now I've got those on at the same time as the halos. I'm also not entirely sure about the quality of them. When I'm driving late at night, I find I don't get as much visibility as I might want to, and I've been looking online for quite a while, getting suggestions from you guys over Instagram as to which lights to go for. So after looking for some time online at all of the options available, I came across a brand called Light Parts, and I came across this because Scout the Defender, who you may follow on Instagram or here on YouTube, has fitted these to his Defender. And ORE now, the same guys who make the bumper, supply and actually do all the UK distribution for Light Parts here in the UK. As with everything with ORE make, I'm really confident that the quality, the build, all the research that goes into the products they produce and the products they stock is pretty much the best you can possibly get for a Defender. So I was really confident in going ahead and moving forward with the Light Parts products. So this is one of the headlamps. This is a Light Parts 7-inch round LED headlight, and I got this from ORE because now they do distribute in the UK. Now these headlamps themselves have a daytime running element on them, kind of like a halo but a bit of a different shape, and that's something that I first saw on Scout the Defender's truck that I quite like the look of it. I find halos are done quite frequently now on all Defenders, and you can buy halo LED headlights quite cheap over on eBay. But I wanted something a little bit different, something I think would make the truck look a little better now it's got daytime running lights on the bumper as well. So let me show you these headlamps. This is one of the headlamps here, and if you look, they look pretty cool like this before they're even on the truck. But you can see this is the daytime running element, this horseshoe shape, which I think is going to look really good. And this is the way they sit, so you get this kind of horseshoe shaped daytime running unit, and then these are obviously your main beams when you put them on. So pretty beefy looking headlight unit overall, and I'm excited to see how that looks. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to fit this on one side and show you the side-by-side comparison with my old headlights and these new ones too, and then hopefully on this video as well take it out in the dark and show you how well projecting I hope these lights are going to be in the dark too. So because I already have a daytime running unit in my Defender with these halos, this should be a really easy, simple plug-in job, so it shouldn't be too difficult to fit at all. Some of the things I've added as well today, having taken these headlights off before, is I've also changed the bezels. I've gone for new bezels that I've picked up online, which are these bits right here, because mine are quite rusted and quite old looking. So I'm going to put these on as well, just to make the whole thing look a little fresher. So these are my two new headlight parts here, and I've got the bezels as well. So looking at my Defender, this is what we currently have. So you can see the halo here, the two headlight units. The new light part ones look much bigger, much better than that. And the same on this side. Truck's a little bit dirty, needs a good clean to be fair. But yeah, so this is what we're going to be replacing today. And this whole thing is quite easy to do because you literally take the frame off, take these two side lights or indicator out, and it just pulls out, and then you put the new bezel on, and should be, I'm hoping, quite an easy fit job today to do this. So let's begin by taking all of this off, getting your headlight unit out, and seeing how we get on with fitting. So this is where we are now. We've taken the kind of KBX frame off, and you can see this is where you're just getting that rust, that corrosion. I've certainly seen better days. No idea what these headlight units are. But you can see here, again, some of the screws aren't really that great. The whole thing's kind of falling apart. So looking forward to putting a new bezel surround on there for getting the new headlights on. So let's take this out and see what's underneath. Again, an old bezel. This is what they look like. I'm not sure when these have been replaced, if they ever have been replaced. But definitely seen better days compared to my new ones right here. So looking at that, we've taken the old headlamp unit out. It does feel a lot lighter than the new one actually, which is interesting. So you can see this is my old headlight here, and when you look here, you've got the main socket, which is for your main headlights, I guess, the main beam, and then the other connection, which if you look on your new headlight, is a positive, which is a yellow, and a negative, which is black. And so what you need to do is connect that to a positive negative, and that runs your DRL, so a little upside down horseshoe in this case, or the halo on these lights. So what I'm going to do on mine is cheat a little bit and just find out which is a positive and negative off here. So if I can find the live off there, I can connect it to the yellow, and then I'm going to connect that straight up, and I know then the lights will come on with the ignition as a DRL. Now if you haven't got that and you've got an older style, you can plug your headlights straight in to this connection just here. This is actually something called a ballast, which was on basically cheap headlights like the one I've got fitted at the moment. So I'm going to take that out, and you can actually connect the light parts one straight into that, which is what I'm going to be doing today. And you can find a live for the DRL on things like, I've read, the heater matrix up on the bulkhead. So if you go run a live from there, what it means is when you turn the ignition on and the heater comes on, your DRLs will come on at the same time. So that's where I would go if I didn't have this wiring harness already set up. So what I'm going to do now is find the live off here and then get fitting. I've heard so many good things about the light parts lights. I'm interested to see what they look like when they're in. And another reason I went for these is because these have a 3-year warranty. So that's pretty unusual for any parts really like this. So they're obviously very, very good, and it gives me more confidence really when I'm buying them. Light parts as well were the first upside down U, that kind of upside down horseshoe headlight DRL ever produced. And since then there's been a lot of copies out there, but none of them have the 3-year warranty, which for me just makes me feel really reassured. When I'm buying anything for my Defender, I want to make sure that it's going to work, that it's going to last. There's so much gear out there for Defenders that just doesn't last the test of time, whereas anything really that Chris Murray gets his hands on seems to be some of the best made stuff in the business. That is the U-shaped running light. We've now wired it up correctly, found the positive off there, and I've bypassed that old ballast connection that we had on here, which has now gone straight into there. So that looks very good. Let's try the main beam, and look at that. It is so bright when you're in front of that. It looks absolutely amazing. So that works. Let's now fit it back into the car. And then what I'm going to do is actually go out with the old, you can always see the difference. Look at that. Look at that. You can barely even see. So going to take a look at this and this in comparison. We'll take them out for a drive, park against the wall just so you can see the difference between those two lights. Even with it off, to be fair, it does just look way cooler than the other side. So this is the other one, as you can see. So now let's try it with the lights on. Let's see what the differences are between the two headlights. And then I'm going to spin this round, put it against the wall so you can really see what the brightness difference is, and I can have a look really and see whether the upgrade's been worth it. So here is the Defender on now. We've got daytime running light and a very cool little upside down U that you can see there, and I think it just looks a little bit, a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit better looking than this, which is just a really glaring white ring that you probably can't see that well on the camera here. So that's just too full of light for me. I really like the suppleness of this, the way that looks. Now let's try the main beam. The main beam difference is, you can see, it looks way crisper in this headlight. I don't know if you can make out on the light here, but it looks way crisper at the moment just from looking at it than this does. But it's kind of got those 3 dots, and here you've got 2 quite strong dots. So now let's put on high beam and see the difference. This is the difference on high beam, so you can see that is the new headlight there. The old one doesn't really produce that much more light on high beam. This new one though, the light box one, really does shine a lot brighter with all the reflective elements in it there. So now let's turn around and have a look against the wall. So on my Defender now, they are the daytime running lights that are on. If we put headlights on, the one on the left is the new headlights. You can see one of the things about good quality headlights is you see this kind of sharp line definition at the top, whereas on this side it's kind of blurry, it's hazy. It's probably why I get flashed a lot when I've got my headlights on, because it's going in people's eyes. It just kind of shines up and everywhere, whereas this is a lot more defined, a lot more crisp. The biggest difference that I see is when you put full beam on. So full beam, I mean, you can just completely outshines the other headlight. It's just getting dark now, it's not that dark, but already I can see such a difference in how bright that new headlight is in comparison. So really pleased with that. Going to get the other one on. Let's get out the second headlight and fit this new one on the other side, and then we'll have them both on the truck, and then we'll see what that looks like when they're both on. So that's what we're replacing. So that is now both of my new headlights with the DRLs fitted. I'm really pleased with how that looks with the ORE bumper now. I think it just all goes together a lot nicer. And I'll show you how powerful these headlights are now. It's got a little bit darker. I'll be able to show you what they look like inside the car. So these are actually just the daytime running lights and the DRL bumper as well on at the moment, you can see. And then if we put the headlights on, you can see how bright they are, and then full beam right to the end of that farm gate over there. So really pleased with how bright those lights actually are. And if we drive a little bit further, you can see they're also very, very crispy white, so it gives you really good visibility and clarity. So I'm actually really more happy than I thought I'd be with how good these look at night time compared to what my Defender was running on before. And if you look over this field as well, if we go and put full beam on, really, really powerful those lights when they're fully on. So let's take a look from the outside with the headlights on. I'll show you what they look like. So really pleased overall with how they work. I do kind of want the DRL bump to be on. It's wired up so it turns off with the main lights, but I'm going to try and maybe rewire that back up. I'm not really sure. I think from a legal point of view, it should be off like it is, so that's correct. But yeah, really pleased with how good they look. I hope that's been an interesting video, a bit of an insight into fitting my new headlights on my truck. All the parts I've used will be available in the description below. Thanks for watching, and check out the rest of my videos here on YouTube.